Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Ford. I hope that everybody's doing well at home. So what I did was I created a few videos on how to explain how to do this Mrs. Ford's at home art challenge. So every week you're going to have to choose two different activities that are on this big list here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to create a video for each one of these different things. So today we're going to go over this one right here. It says, be inspired by Vincent van Gogh. Observe flowers and plants in nature. Draw them carefully in color. If you draw them in a vase like the one pictured above, your work will certainly be Van Gogh style. Sign your name on the vase like Van Gogh did. Vincent van Gogh is a very famous French artist. He's the one that infamously cut off his ear like we discussed in class. And he's known for his style of Impressionism, where he drew with lines and lots of bright colors. So if you look in here, I wanted to show you some. Here's a picture of him with his face all bandaged, because that's right after he cut off his ear. I know you guys got a kick out of that in class. Here are his flowers. Here's a vase of flowers. Really beautifully done, bright, bold colors. If you look really closely, you can see all the different brush strokes that are inside of his flowers. Here's another one. This is his bedroom, which is a really famous painting. Starry, Starry Night, which most of you know already. And this is one of his really famous sunflowers. This is actually at the Philadelphia Art Museum if you get a chance to go there, and it is huge. So what we're going to do is today we're going to kind of be inspired by his flowers, and we're going to draw our own. If you notice, he also signs his name right here in the corner of the vase. We are going to be able to do that if you want. So you may look at pictures online. You can go outside and pick some flowers. I picked some flowers right here. So we're going to be drawing these, and we're going to be drawing them onto a piece of paper. You can work any size, any art material that you want. All right, so guys, really would just want you to be flexible with how you are drawing. So this setup that I have today is not my typical setup. You know that I usually have my camera lined up. So I'm going to try my best. So what we're going to do is I'm going to look at my flowers. I'm going to observe what the flowers look like, and I'm going to break them down into simple shapes. All right, and I'm going to sketch out each of my little petals, and I'm going to draw them. Lots of different shapes and sizes. If you're out on a nature walk, maybe you could go pick out some flowers. Please don't pick them from your neighbor's yard without permission. Maybe you have some flowers in your parents' or mom's garden that you could get. These are actually flowers from my mom's garden. They're daffodils. These right here, we're going to keep drawing the flowers. We're going to draw the petals. I like drawing flowers because they're very organic. They don't have like a specific shape. And when you draw them, they look really realistic. So I'm going to draw parts of the shapes, and I'm going to start to draw all of the little kind of details that you see in my picture. And in here I have 5 different flowers. So I'm going to start to just kind of practice drawing them. There's lots of different shapes going on. There's overlapping, there's line, there's texture. We can add them to your picture. I also want you to think about, after or while you're drawing, what kind of material you want to work with. Okay, maybe you have crayons at home, colored pencils, markers, paint. Maybe you have a art set, which I know some of you do have art sets at home. Maybe you want to do pastels. Or maybe you want to experiment with a material you haven't done before. Did you know that you can actually make paint out of a tea, like from a tea bag? You could actually make tea, and then you can add water to it, or less water, to make the values of the tea different colors, and you can paint with that. So be creative with what you have at home to paint with. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you don't have paint, you can't paint. You could use Kool-Aid. Yeah, Kool-Aid. If you have a box of Kool-Aid or powdered Kool-Aid, you could use some of that. You could use coffee. You add water to coffee, and you could use that to add paint to. So just because you don't have those things at home doesn't mean that you can't. All right, so I'm going to continue drawing my flowers here, and I have one more flower over here. Okay, and I'm drawing all of the petals organically. So it might not look like anything at first until everything kind of comes together, and then you'll actually be able to see my flower here. So we're going to keep going with this. Okay, we're going to add some texture in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, after I'm done this, is I am going to add color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add color with pastels. I have a set of chalk pastels at home. So I'm going to be using some of my pastels to add color. So if you can see that, there is my drawing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some pastels. And I have a set of colored or pencil pastels, and then I have a set of just chalk pastels. And I like these because they blend really nicely. You can start to add, you can add layers of color down in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to add color. And I really like these because you can smudge them and blend colors. So I'm going to actually add a little bit of orange into my flowers. Okay, I'm going to add some orange at the bottom here, and I like to do this is one of my favorite parts with pastels is to blend them. You can do this with crayons too. You can layer the crayons on top of each other. You can also do this with color pencils. You can layer the colors on top of each other and blend them with your finger. Some of you know that when I taught you value. So we're going to keep going with the flowers, and you can see that I'm starting to add a little bit of value into the flowers to make them really, really beautiful. So you're going to continue doing that, working on your flowers. And when I'm finished this, I will post a picture into our Google Classroom of how you might finish this artwork. And if you have any questions, you can just shoot me an email, comment below, message me, let me know how you do. I can't wait to see your beautifully inspired flowers are by Vincent van Gogh. Also, don't forget to write your name. So make sure you write your name somewhere in your artwork, maybe inspired by Van Gogh, and you want to put it on the little vase or vase that has that you're working with. Maybe you want to put it at the bottom, or if you're drawing outside would be a really good idea too. You could go outside and you could draw. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to continue working on my Vincent van Gogh flowers. If you have any kind of questions, please ask. Have a good day, guys.